Hi everyone, I'm going over two movie reviews. The first review is on The Hunger Games, and the second review will be 21 Jump Street. Now, try to understand my perspective. The Hunger Games was based on a book, and therefore you really have to read the book in order to understand the movie. That's my opinion on that. I didn't read the book, so therefore my opinion of the movie is going to be far less nice than other people. I have heard, however, a lot of people who haven't read the book kind of agree along my same line. I'm going to say for both The Hunger Games and 21 Jump Street, both should be watched. It is worth watching both of them. However, I will rate The Hunger Games kind of lowly. So again, this is purely from a movie standpoint. I didn't read the books. I mean, the books could be amazing, but I didn't read the books. This is just a movie review. So The Hunger Games is a good plot, it's a great setting, and I really think it should have been split across two movies, not explained as fast as possible in one movie, because a lot of things were kind of just skipped through and it kind of taken for granted, because I guess they expected you to have read the book and understand all these little plot holes that are very obvious during the movie. They really should have focused more on the relationships, the character development, because it felt really weird. Now, from what I've seen, Katniss, the main character, was supposed to be a very strong, intelligent individual, but she kept on coming off as, to me at least, one-dimensional, where she wasn't that strong in making decisions. It was more like spur of the moment. She wasn't really thinking in the movie, because I'm guessing she had more thought processes during the book, and they really should have made that clear somehow in the story. They could have made her a more thoughtful person by having her make decisions, and then during the games, they could have the commentators go out like, wow, that was really smart of her to actually, think of doing this, because they ended up doing this kind of outcome. That kind of way, it shows that she's a thoughtful person without telling us her thought. The movie was good. It's great for a first one, and, it'll get better, I'm sure. But I just really wish they spent more time going through the story. It felt really rushed. The movie felt really like it was split between sci-fi and action. It wasn't super action-y, and it wasn't super sci-fi in those kind of words. Like, sci-fi is a lot of really depth in the plot and really how characters develop and how people function. The movie's rated PG-13. He did this on purpose to get a broader audience, and therefore he removed a lot of the gore and the violence, which is really big in the book, apparently. And when they do that, the action's terrible. When I mean terrible, it means awful. It looks like someone just took the camera and just kind of shook it around like crazy to show how blurry and fast everyone is, but you can't see a thing. You just kind of know that people are fighting and people are dying, but you're like, okay, this is too fast. I can't tell what's going on at all. I mean, you understand that it's happening. It's just annoying that if you're watching an action flick, you want to see the action as much as possible, but I realize, again, it's for PG-13 rating, that way the younger kids can watch it. Also understand my perspective is a little different. I watched a movie a long time ago called Battle Royale. I'll explain Battle Royale. Battle Royale is very similar, very, very similar to The Hunger Games. There's a lot of differences, of course, but it's very similar to The Hunger Games, and it was written in 1999. The Hunger Games was written in 2008. Battle Royale was a movie in 2000, and The Hunger Games was a movie in 2012. So this film feels like this 12-year-old, and the story feels like it's much older. So it's kind of like me watching the same movie twice. So in my perspective, I can find a lot of mistakes. I can find something better. So the best way I can explain it is that it's very similar to Cinderella. Cinderella was first explained as from the Brothers Grimm. The Brothers Grimm show Cinderella in a very mean way, a very harsh way, very violent way. This is the way Battle Royale shows the storyline. It's very violent, it's very crude. And later on, Cinderella was picked up by Disney, same storyline, right? But softened, and it's much, much different. So those who have read the Brothers Grimm version of Cinderella will understand that if you read that first and then read Cinderella, you're like, this is very similar and is very dull compared to the first one. That's the same way that I see Battle Royale compared to the Hunger Games. So if you want to see my perspective, my opinion is, if you already watched the Hunger Games, fine. Watch Battle Royale. If you haven't watched the Hunger Games, read the Hunger Games, watch Battle Royale, then watch the Hunger Games. Me personally, I prefer Battle Royale, but I understand the Hunger Games is a good genre to get into for people who haven't come across this kind of storyline, so watch it. Additionally, Battle Royale is rated R, or at least Japanese R, so there's lots of blood and gore, and the Hunger Games is PG-13. So there is a difference in action and allowed violence because they have to meet certain standards. Again, I really think he should have made it R, and then just had parents come with their kids and just bring them over to watch the movie. It would have been a better movie in my opinion. But hey, it wasn't my decision. The second movie I'm reviewing is 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street is pretty different than The Hunger Games, but I rate it far, far higher. I'm not going to give numbers to either one, even though I really should. I just don't feel like it. 21 Jump Street is a movie you should watch, period. It is an adult movie, so therefore if you're a child or of young age, don't watch it yet. But if you're of the older age, I would highly recommend this movie. Watch this movie. It's funny, it's very clever, it's well thought out, has tons of action, and it's overall a very, very good movie. I'm not just saying that. It actually is a very, very well done movie all the way through. It gets your attention all the way. You understand the storyline all the way through. The character development is very solid. You can relate to it. I just don't really know. The jokes are funny, and overall, you just get a good experience. So for my opinion, The Hunger Games, watch it because everyone else kind of watches it, and you really should understand the storyline. If you've seen Battle Royale, you don't really need to watch The Hunger Games except to talk with your friends. And 21 Jump Street, definitely watch it if you have the chance. I'm just testing out my tripod today, and it's outside and it's decently nice, and I'll try to do some more outside shots to make it helpful. Those are my 2 reviews. You have a good one.